You know, it never ceases to amaze me the desperate lengths women will go through to get some dick. I mean, seriously, like, the long lists of adult, grown-ass women who used to be teachers or substitute teachers sacrificing their entire jobs and livelihood in the pursuit of penis never ceases to amaze me. It never ceases to amaze me that this shit continuously happens, and it keeps happening, and there's no social outrage about it. Like, it really, really makes me wonder and think, like, what in the hell is going through these women's minds? I mean, like, do these boys, like, possess the dick of life or something? Maybe Savannah Brown maybe, like, kind of had a point in her poem. You know, the poem where she was bitching about being a slut.
You think an orgasm for you is like oxygen for me, like when I am going down on you, I am actually sucking up life, retrieving my very soul from inside your stomach.
Who knows? Maybe this is exactly how all of these grown-ass women view these young men's dicks. Over here, like, sucking their entire soul through the penis. Or through the semen, I guess. I'm sorry, my mind just goes to really, really weird places whenever I think about this scenario. And I think it's something reasonable to think about, because this shit just keeps happening. So I guess today we're going to talk about the latest grown-ass woman to join the list of teachers who somehow found herself seduced by a teenage boy. Alright. Go ahead and take us away.
She's the teacher just arrested for having sex with a student.
I never thought it would get this far.
Wait, what? Aren't you supposed to be like a teacher? I mean, aren't you supposed to have at least some degree of intelligence or forethought? You're supposed to be teaching the youth of America, not getting some dick. Come on, young lady, what's going? Oh, substitute teacher. No, okay, I guess it's okay then.
I apologize so much.
Mary Beth Haglin, a substitute English teacher, says she still finds it hard to believe she did what she did.
When he came into my classroom, he would grab a Post-it, sit down, scribble a little note, and then stick it on my desk on his way out.
Wait, that's it? All he did was write down a couple of sweet notes? Man, damn, maybe this guy needs to write a book or teach a seminar or something. I'm not gonna lie to you, viewer. I mean, every single time I see a news story like this, honestly, I get the thought in my head. I think to myself, could I have done that? Could I have somehow seduced a grown-ass woman who was supposed to be teaching me English to have sex with me? But then I remember the fact that I couldn't seduce women my own age to have sex with me, so probably not.
I love you so much, my Empress.
Now, perhaps I'm one of those people that just pays way too much attention to shit that doesn't matter, but I just realized that there is no punctuation on that sticky note. That means that this woman did not fall in love with this guy for his usage of proper grammar. I mean, you would think that English teachers would, like, prioritize men who speak well, but I guess not.
He would always call me his Empress.
You know, viewer, I just had another thought. There's no way around the fact that those sticky notes must have really meant something to that woman, because notice that she still has them. She still has the sticky notes that this 17-year-old boy wrote out for her. I mean, like, seriously, is that really the key to some pussy? Just write a bunch of really sweet things on sticky notes and just post it around there? I certainly could have used that when I was in high school.
The student, a 17-year-old senior at the Iowa high school where Miss Haglin taught, even compared their relationship to the classic movie The Graduate.
Here's to you, Mrs. Robinson.
And here's to you, Mrs. Robinson.
You'll recall in the movie, Dustin Hoffman's character is seduced by an older woman.
Mrs. Robinson, you're trying to seduce me.
The student Casanova's romantic overtures worked. His teacher fell in love.
You know, you have to wonder what kind of state of mind this woman was in order to be seduced by a couple of sticky notes. I mean, she's got to be one really, really lonely or desperate woman. I mean, just absolutely craving for some dick or something. Like, I mean, the amount of low self-esteem and depression this woman must be going through, the loneliness and the aching for the touch of a man that must be going through this woman's mind. Or maybe, it's more realistically, what was probably going through her mind was the kid just made her feel special. I tell you one thing, man, the greatest aphrodisiac to a woman, it's not chocolate, and it most certainly is not money. It's just making her feel special. I mean, hell, you can be a homeless man off the street, but if you can make a woman feel special, you can probably have sex with her. All that shit that pickup artists do, and all that life and dating coaching, it can all be summed down into one thing. Just make the woman feel special, and she'll probably have sex with you. Case in point, all this nigga did was just write a bunch of sticky notes and, well, look where that got him.
I was completely head over heels.
See? He even sent him these sexy selfies.
Now that's just stupid.
We had to ask, what was she thinking?
I realize now how stupid I was.
No, well, you said it, not me. Well, actually, I have been heavily implying it throughout the course of this video, so...
What a terrible mistake I made.
The relationship went on for 6 months.
This is where a lot of our illicit activities happened.
She says they had sex almost every day in her car at this public park.
You guys couldn't have saved up some money to get a hotel or something? I mean, I don't know, it's almost like you guys were begging to be caught.
But it all came crashing down when they were spotted by another student. Haglin was fired and charged with sexual exploitation by a school employee. Here she is turning herself in at a police station in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Now, at this point, viewer, I'm pretty sure you're wondering, you're probably asking yourself what I think is a very interesting question. You're probably asking, if this kid was 17 years old and a senior in high school, why didn't the woman just wait till he was older? Or, better yet, until he was out of high school? And I think the answer to your question is, well, I think we've established pretty thoroughly that this woman isn't the most complex of thinkers. I think that's been established. I think that's the answer. I think that's the answer to the question. Yeah.
Now her teaching career is over, all because she fell for a teenager's love notes.
I want to go back there and just smack myself. I want to say, what were you thinking, Mary Beth?
Wow, this 17-year-old boy makes me feel really special. It's probably what you were thinking. I would bet that is exactly what you were thinking. You know what I find really interesting about this story, viewer? When I first caught wind of this article, I read the headline and it said that this woman was seduced by a 17-year-old boy. And that word really confused the shit out of me. I mean, hell, even if you look at the video we just watched, it still painted the woman in a sympathetic light. Like, she was the victim. Like, this 17-year-old boy had some power and control over this 24-year-old woman. I mean, if this is the angle that the reporters are trying to take, and maybe I'm just extrapolating too much in it, and I really hope I am, but if they really are trying to make it seem like this woman is the victim of the situation, it really says something. I mean, it really says something about this, again, 24-year-old grown-ass woman. And here's something else that I find to be particularly interesting. The fact that this story isn't new. This story, no, this isn't the first time this has happened. Not by a longish shot. I mean, this happens a lot. And whether or not it's a 17 or 16-year-old boy, I mean, sometimes this thing will happen to 14-year-old kids. These grown-ass women, adult women, sometimes up to their 30s, are having sex with young men. Sometimes children. And what really gets me is, why isn't there like an outrage? Why doesn't this bother people? Why doesn't this get the same fervor and anger as fucking rape culture gets? I don't understand how Mary Beth Haglin, a 24-year-old woman, is able to go around having sex with a 17-year-old boy. And it doesn't bother anyone. It doesn't make anyone think complexly about the way we look at the relationship between men and women. It doesn't make anyone stop and say, hey, wait a minute, what is going on with these women, these adult grown-ass women, that makes them think that it's okay, or that they should, or that it's alright to have sex with children? How come this doesn't get the same amount of outrage and rage that rape culture gets? But then I realized something. I thought about it for a second, and I looked at Mary Beth Haglin, and then I remembered this one very crucial and important fact. That's a woman. And just like that, all my questions were answered.